The regular season ended at least a month ago for the Bruins. Dominance order tends to have this kind of effect. But the Bruins remained committed to the quest for history and went ahead and made it happen, setting new NHL records for wins with 65 and points with 135. History may not remember these Bruins as better than the 1976-77 Canadiens, which registered 132 points on the scoreboard in just 80 games and without the benefit of picking up extra points from overtime wins. The NHL didn't implement overtime until 1983. Long live the ties. But here's the thing, the 2022-23 Boston Bruins were insanely, ridiculously good in the regular season. As the 2018-19 Tampa Bay Lightning team showed, a great regular season means utter chaos if the team doesn't play in the postseason. These Lightnings learned that by not only losing to a first-round underdog team, but being beaten in the first round by an underdog team in Columbus. It was a shock to the entire hockey world, something that is still hard to understand. The Blue Jackets promptly lost to the Bruins in 6 games in the next round. While no one is predicting a first-round sweep for this year's Bruins, you can currently get plus 3,500 odds on a Panther sweep. The 2019 Lightning serves as both a cautionary tale and a reminder that nothing is easy in the Cup Stanley. With that in mind, here are some key areas that should impact the upcoming Bruins-Panthers playoff series, which kicks off Monday night at TD Garden. Record. The Bruins have only lost 12 games in regulation this year. The Panthers delivered one of their own. The Bruins have also only lost 5 games in overtime or shootouts this year. The Panthers provided one of those as well. In doing so, the Panthers earned the distinction of being one of 2 teams to record 2 wins over the Bruins this season. The Ottawa Senators, surprisingly, were the last. Whether that means anything is debatable, but it means the Panthers won't go into this series in fear of the Bruins and their regular season record. But the Bruins dominated Florida in Boston, leading 5-3 in the 3rd game of the season and winning 7-3 in the game before Christmas. Florida won 5-2 against Boston before Thanksgiving, before winning 4-3 in overtime in late January. Firepower. In terms of offensive power, the Panthers generate most of their attack against 3 players, Matthew Tkachuk, Alexander Barkov and Carter Verhaeghe. Tkachuk ranks 5th in the NHL this season with a career-high 109 points. Verhaeghe finished 9th in the league with 42 goals and added 31 helpers in a 73-point season. It was also the best season of his career. And Barkov added 89 points, 23-55-78, in just 68 games. Florida also generated plenty of offense from the blue line, where Brandon Montour had 57 assists and 16 goals. Nearly half of those points come from man advantage, so the NHL's highest penalty will be handed to Montour whenever Florida's power play hits the ice. Be prepared for Matthew Tkachuk to go on a rampage as well. He led the Panthers with 123 penalty minutes and will no doubt try to upset the Bruins whenever he gets the chance. Keeper. It's between the pipes that the Panthers can have their fatal flaw. Sergei Bobrovsky is just 4 years into his massive 7-year, $70 million contract and has posted ugly numbers this year, a 24-20-3 record, a .901 save percentage and a 3.07 GAA. It is the second worst season of his entire 13-year career, the worst being his freshman year at Florida, 2019-20. He missed 3 straight games in late March, allowing 13 goals on 94 shooting, 862 shooting percent, and the combination of that performance and illness meant he hadn't seen the ice in a game since March 27. Replaced veteran Alex Lyon for the last 8 games of the season. And he delivered with a .611 record, a .943 save percentage, and a 1.87 GAA. Overall this season, Lyon are 14-9-4 with a .912 save percentage and 2.89 GAA. Prior to this season, he had just 17 starts and 24 appearances in his 5-year NHL career, posting a suboptimal 895 save percentage and 3.18 GAA. Lions' limited scoring and Bobrovsky's shaky play may not bode well for Florida in this series, to say the least. However, Lyon played very well in their only start of the year against Boston, stopping 37 of 40 shots in the 4-3 overtime victory. That performance included 16 saves in each of the first 2 periods. As you might expect, Lyon have never played in the postseason, and the challenge of hitting the ice in a frantic TD Garden against the best team in hockey is something you shouldn't take for granted. Lyon also allowed 4 goals towards the end of the regular season, potentially opening the door for Bobrovsky to start the first game. The veteran started just once against Boston this year, allowing 4 goals on 33 shots in a mid-October loss. Whichever path the Panthers take, there will be a huge question mark in this series. For the Bruins, Linus Ullmark started 2 games against the Panthers and went 2-0-0 with a 925 save percentage and 3.00 GAA. Jeremy Swayman also started 2 games and went 0-1-1 with a percentage of rescue of 0.881 and 4.03 GAA. Health. Bruins center David Krejci has not played since April 1st, when he spent the afternoon in Pittsburgh sidelined. While the Bruins have little information on Krejci, the possibility that he may not be ready for Monday's Game 1 should be considered. The Bruins are ready to deal with this loss as Pavel Zacha seamlessly slid from wing to center on second row. With David Pastrnak at right wing and Tyler Bertuzzi at left wing, the Bruins' top 6 is still strong for a playoff run. Additionally, the Bruins took Linus Ullmark off the ice earlier this week in his final start of the season, though they said it was just a precaution. Likewise, Patrice Bergeron did not return to the ice after the first period on Thursday, but Jim Montgomery said that too was a precaution, with the coach denying Bergeron's plea to return to the ice. The preemptive aspect of both issues is believable, but both still warrant attention as the series progresses. For the Panthers, Sam Bennett was placed on injured reserve this week, suggesting he may not recover from a groin injury as quickly as the team had hoped. Bennett has 16 goals with 24 assists in 63 games, but hasn't played since March 20th and could leave a pivot gap for Florida this series. If he is indeed out, expect the Bruins' third line of Taylor Hall, Charlie Coyle, Trent Frederic to dominate the chances on the ice, and expect Montgomery to try to capitalize on the latest move at home when the Panthers' top 2 lines are up. No, they are on ice. Special teams. Bruins and Panthers special teams raw data shows this. Power up. Bruins, 22.7%, 12th in the NHL. Panthers, 23.5%, 10th in the NHL. The punishment of murder. Bruins, 87.3%, 1st in the NHL. Panthers, 76%, 23rd in NHL. While the Bruins' power play had a rough second half of the season, 15.4% completion rate in late January, the leaky PK from the Panthers could represent something of a soft landing for the game to be able to find some balance. Special teams also play a key role in the series, as the Bruins ranked 4th in the NHL in penalties this season with 149. The Panthers weren't far behind, ranking 6th with 140 penalties. Both teams are also in the top 5 on penalties, Bruins 3rd, Panthers 5th, so some striked arms are sure to be raised early on and often throughout the series. If the Panthers can win a game or 2, or more, they can work to find an advantage here. Shooters. Does regular season success predict postseason results? Probably not. But here are the best performances from both teams in their 4 games against each other this year. Boston. 1. Patrice Bergeron, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points, +2. 2. Jake DeBrusk, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 points, +4. 2. Connor Clifton, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, +1. 2. Brad Marchand, 0 goals, 4 assists, 4 points, -2. 2. David Pastrnak, 4 goals, 0 assists, 4 points, -2. Florida. 1. Alexander Barkov, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6 points, -1. 2. Sam Reinhart, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points, +3. 2. Matthew Tkachuk, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points, -3. 4. Aaron Ekblad, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points, -3. 5. Sam Bennett, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 points, -3. The big picture. As everyone knows, crazy things happen in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Nothing is guaranteed, not even a showdown between the greatest regular season team of all time and the 42-game Florida Panthers. Still, the Bruins' problem this year is that they just don't lose hockey games. And they certainly don't lose them en masse. Of course, losing a playoff series requires a team to lose 4 times in 7 games. There has only been a single 7-game stretch this season where the Bruins lost 4 games. This came in late January/early February as they struggled to a 1-3-1 record in 5 games. But they followed a 10-game winning streak and ended the season by winning 15 of their last 16 games. While everyone has to be on their toes to potentially cut this remarkable season short before June, this really shouldn't be a series where it's a real risk. Forecast. Absolutely no one asked, but here we are, Bruins sweeping. Glad to have you here. I am very happy to count on your presence, and I would love to hear your opinion in the comments, so that together we can expand our knowledge of Boston through this channel. And speaking of sharing knowledge, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel so we can reach even more fans. With your help, I feel motivated to post videos daily and keep you up to date. Also, by subscribing, you will receive notifications whenever a new video is posted. Many thanks for your support.